So I'm going to start with the first person today. The first person we are bringing on board is, let's give it up for Mr. Kenny in the house. All right. Thank you so much, Kenny. How are you, sir? Um, I think can you unmute yourself? Yeah, I can hear you
Sorry
now.
about that. Yeah, thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you.
All right, excellent, excellent. And you know the drill already, Kenny. So in a few minutes, I will quickly run through the specific role, and I will share my screen, and let me show the team what the role is about. Then we just jump into it straight up. And everybody, please remember again, the goal for us is just to make sure we make our team successful at the end of the day. We just want to get the jobs. That's all we care about, to be honest. We just want to get the offers, okay? At the end of the day, we're not here to say anything. We're not of the illusion anything is guaranteed, right? We know that we still need to put the work, and that's why we're doing this. We just want to make sure we do our part, make ourselves, give ourselves a chance to be successful at the minimum. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, let's start with the first one. And Kenny, I'll just tell you what I think about this role. All right. And
Sure.
please, everyone on the call, as I talk about this role, show you this role, start thinking of areas you can potentially ask questions. Type those questions for me. I'll pull some of those and leverage them and ask him also. Okay. So, risk register analyst is your role. Remember again, as a team, always remember anytime we talk about risk in general, there's always going to be a catalog of risk where we track all our risk. Big organization would have a huge risk registry, right? Where they keep all their risk, where they have like a life cycle of the risk. If the risk is going to be accepted, if it's going to be something they are mitigating, if it's going to be transferred, they would have an inventory of those risks in general, right? And they keep record of the risk. They would make sure the record is available for their external auditors, internal auditors, any stakeholder, they will be able to provide that information to them. So risk register analyst, really your role will entail a lot of monitoring of those risks. Now, let's put it in perspective. Small organization can get away with it because maybe there's not a whole lot of risk they're tracking. Imagine you having a huge organization that has 100,000 employee, 50,000 employee. Now it's changing the game. Now it means it's going to be much more robust and a lot of people will be involved. The second one talks about policy exception analyst. Sometimes there will be times where you would have certain policy where we create exception, meaning that we know that the risk is there, but we are making exception for you. Now, it requires a lot of verification, documentation, approvals to get into that point of making exception, right? So some people, their role is to go in there, analyze those exceptions, understand the risk around those exceptions, make sure the documentation around those exceptions have been clearly created. And they also want you to know NIST 853 guideline at the minimum. So those are things they also require you to understand. Of course, proficiency in using office tools. I believe most of us on this call would know how to use those basic tools. Now, some of your scope of work when you are hired will include you're going to be documenting a lot. You're going to be doing monitoring of the information and data registry of the risk. You're going to be doing data entry at some point, maintaining the risk exceptions. So these are just things expected for this particular role. What is going to be your final deliverable? Now, one thing that out there that I think we should be a little bit careful, and talk to you about that later, is they want somebody that also understands Power BI, right? It's pretty much like a report tool, and the good thing about this, don't stress it. That's the list of my worry. We can just quickly go Google that and see how to do basic use of Power BI. Now, you don't have to be a Power BI administrator, right? It's just to be able to pull report and make basic report. The same thing for Tableau. If you're on this call, I'll tell you for a fact, Tableau, Power BI are not complex tools to learn. Now, if you're creating much more robust um, data or reports, that's a different conversation. But the basic use is not complex, right? To use it for basic use. So I would say, personally, yes, say yes, you have a knowledge of it. You are not an admin in Power BI, you are not a developer in it, but you can use the basic tool in general, okay? So we can quickly Google that or have a YouTube to just understand the basic of Power BI. So at least let's get over the hump. All right. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Like always, I need you to be strong on your knowledge of NIST 853 to understand the controls there because that's what they requested. Talk about some project and how your project impacted the business. And this goes to everybody. At the end of the day, whatever you're talking about, never forget to tie it to business case. It doesn't matter your technical skills and how savvy you are. I like people that are equally knowledgeable and understand how what they do ties and impact the business. Very important, right? Because think about it like yourself too. If you are people that don't understand your business, the gap will show. So I need someone that really understands the business and ties it together also. Okay. So these are two examples I gave. I'm sure you would have taken a look at it also. So I'll leave that for now. Then questions after. I mean, well, these are some past projects I kind of analyzed to say quantifiable impact, qualitative impact that you made. I talked about you leading a project to improve risk notification and response process within your organization. That's a big deal for most business, right? It's not just having risk, but how soon do we respond and mitigate those risks? Let's take it again. Risk is always going to be there. First, how do we quickly identify those risks and track them and potentially mitigate them? Because it's going to be an ever evolving process, right? Risk is not just going to be static, it's going to be evolving all the time. So we know that. The other thing talks about quantifiable impact in terms of what impact did you make that I can measure. In this case, you said security incidents were reduced by 20% as a result of you constantly monitoring the risk, categorizing the risk within your business. That is a big deal. Remember, again, we are talking at times of Fortune 100, Fortune 200 companies. Some of them are over 10,000 employees. So, whatever you do to reduce their risk, even at 1%, is immediately significant. So, it's a big deal. So, it's a win for you. Let's put it that way. Okay. All right. So, do you have questions for me? I expect you at the minimum ask questions that will make me as a leader to think and say, okay, how does this align in the long term to the mission of the organization at the minimum? How does this help us in terms of collaboration with other stakeholders within your organization? So this is cheat sheet for you. Take your time, use them as needed. All right. So that's the quick snapshot, all right, of what I think the role would be. And now it's going to be your show, sir. All right, cool. So now the normal drill, I'll just jump in, start asking you questions. And now, Tim, this is our show now, right? So now I want us to be a little bit brutal right now, right? So we're gonna put Mr. Kenny on the spotlight. So right now, this is Ken's show. All right. So what we expect is, the normal question is, okay, walk me through your resume. What have you done? To me, for everybody on this call, this is the slam dunk question. If I ask you, walk me through your resume, what have you done? I'm not telling you to just tell me some fancy stuff. Tie your experience and what you've done to the role itself. So if it's a risk register role, I need you to talk about risk, how you mitigated stuff. So just take me along the journey. Make the story clear and precise. All right. Okay, that's the cheat sheet for now. Let's put you on the spotlight. And folks, please, as Kenny gets into the mood and start addressing stuff, starts you know putting stuff. Somebody said I am getting a blurry screen. All right, I like some questions already, so I'm seeing some questions. But okay, let's put him. I like it, guys. Start throwing questions you think we should ask him. I'm seeing some already. I like it. Okay, lovely, lovely. Okay, all right. So, all right, let's have fun, Kenny. All right. So, Kenny, I saw your resume online. I think it might be a fit for one of our role. I would like you to walk me through your experience and tell me what you've done in the past.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time and for this opportunity. As you know, my name is Kenny Olatunji, and I'm here to interview for the role of the Risk Register Analyst within your organization. And I'm about to tell you about myself. And I suspect you're going to have some questions for me thereafter, and I'll be very happy to answer those questions for you. Now, as an experienced GRC and cybersecurity analyst with a diverse background spanning industries such as manufacturing, finance, and IT, I believe I bring a wealth of experience to the role of a risk register analyst to the organization. My career journey has been defined by relentless commitment to enhancing risk management and ensuring the highest levels of security assurance. One of my core strengths lies in my proficiency and ability to work with root cause analysis methodologies to pinpoint the underlying drivers of risks. Throughout my career, I've implemented corrective and preventive actions to mitigate risks, thereby fortifying organizational security. My dedication to staying at the forefront of industry trends and best practices has consistently translated into effective risk reduction strategies and regulatory compliance. My expertise also extends to cloud security with a particular focus on the AWS platform. I possess an in-depth understanding of crucial AWS controls, including IAM, which is Identity and Access Management, Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, which is the VPC, security groups, NACLs, which is translated into Network Access Control List, and web application firewalls such as Palo Alto. This knowledge equips me to navigate the complexities of cloud security, ensuring data integrity and regulatory adherence. Now, I have also fortified my qualifications with certifications such as Certified Safe 5 Scrum Master and Professional Scrum Master 1. Additionally, I'm actively pursuing the Certified Information Systems Auditor, CISA, to further enhance my ability and expertise within the risk assessment and compliance. My key skills also encompass a robust analytical acumen, proficiency in compliance assessment, and a deep knowledge of regulatory frameworks such as NIST, Cybersecurity Framework, ISO 27001, HIPAA, PCI DSS, and GDPR, which is a European framework format. I bring critical thinking, organizational ability, proficiency in GRC software such as Risk Rhino. I'm also able to use software such as SharePoint, Office 365 Suite, and Power BI. In my previous roles, such as my recent engagement as a process improvement analyst with MBA Growth Partners, I've demonstrated my ability to conduct thorough risk assessment, ensure compliance, and facilitate process optimization. Additionally, my experience as a GRC analyst at ePanzer and compliance analyst at Altimetric Solutions underscores my proficiency in risk identification, triage, issue management, and compliance program development. Now, to conclude, my holistic expertise in GRC, cybersecurity, and risk mitigation, combined with my dedication to continuous improvement, positions me, I believe, as an asset for the organization. I'm also excited to contribute my skills and experience to support the risk management initiative and drive excellence in compliance and security.
Thank you so much, Kenny.